I promise by the end of this video that you're going to receive value that you have never heard before. And I know this because one of my clients, Jesse, that just came into my business, said that he has never heard of this type of valuable information before, and he has learned more being with me than any other program he has been in, and he has spent over $15,000 on mentorship. He actually told me that what I was charging wasn't even enough, and I'm actually lowballing. So it's very important that you pay attention in these next steps, because some of these things that I'm going to explain, you are most likely doing. So in today's video, I'm going to be deconstructing a business that's doing two things, various things, but mainly two things very, very, very wrong. And some of you guys might be doing this as well. I'll also talk about how school communities are horrible to start off with if you have a coaching agency or consulting business. Horrible way to get clients, and I'm going to explain that in the video. If you don't know me, my name is Justin Rodriguez. I own Scalene Solutions, where I help coaches, consultants, and agency owners go ahead and free up more of their time so they could do the things they love by just simply implementing systems and processes in place. I have the whole A through Z solution for coaches, agency, and consultants. I do this because I truly believe that you should have a business that works for you and not a business that you have to endlessly work for it. So I make sure religiously that everyone that comes into my academy, everyone that comes into my program actually understands business and is not just dependent on me. And inside of this video and how I deconstruct this business, you will literally understand certain areas that you can start improving. So I chose my words with extreme precision when I talked about this business that I'm about to explain. So I'm not going to explain the business right now. I'm going to explain it in the breakdown. The screen is about to change. You will learn everything about the business that I'm overviewing. I found this business online. These guys are fucking doing amazing, by the way. They're doing a great job, and they have a beautiful foundation, and they have so much potential. They have so much potential, and you're gonna see how a little bit of miscalculated steps is ruining their business, aside from them having a beautiful foundation to start generating tons of income. Now, they could have fooled me, because looking at these guys' Instagram and their business, I would think they're at least making 20 to 50K per month easily. But they're making way less than that, way less than they should have, and I'm going to explain why. And a lot of you coaches watching right now in agency and consultants are probably in the same boat. You guys have an amazing foundation, but you guys are not paying attention to the small details. So pay very close attention. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to choose my words with extreme precision inside of this deconstruction of a broken business right now. And I need you to pay close attention, because a lot of these things might relate to you. I even go deep in talking about how school is such a horrible option to start off with. Now, let me explain. But before I do anything, there's 5 things that I need to look at inside of a business to make sure to see if I can either help them or if they have any issues, right? There's only so many things that I can look at without actually talking to the CEO and seeing data, but there's a couple things that I can look at before in order for me to find out if it's doing good or bad. Now, these are the 5 things I look at in a business. So the first thing is their offer. So is your offer clear, coherent, and specific? Also, how does your bio look on your page? Because that relates to the offer, because people need to see what do you offer, and the best way to do that is having a clear bio, right? Who's your audience, right? Who is this offer for, and what's the price of your offer, and how are you getting sales, kind of like how much you're charging for this and how, right? Second one is content, right? Targeting and messaging, relatableness, and value. Is your content valuable? Is the targeting on your content talking to your specific ideal customer that you want inside of your business, right? And how are you messaging? How are you messaging that type of content to attract them? 3 is going to be the landing page, right? Landing page is going to be 3. Is your landing page optimized? Is targeting perfect in the landing page? Are you calling out your ideal customer? How's the messaging on there? Is it aesthetic in some sense? Aesthetic has to play some parts in it, but around 20% or 15% of the whole landing page. And how's your VSL on your landing page? Are you even taking them to a VSL? Are you collecting emails, etc., etc.? 4 things. Fourth thing, sales. How are they trying to convert leads? This is where I'm going to check into the business. How are they trying to convert their leads? Through DMs, and what are their conversations like in the DMs? And then 5, how are their ads performing, and how are they running any ads? So in a business, are you running ads, and how are your ads performing? If you are, how's the messaging on there, etc., etc. So this is the couple things I'm going to look at inside of their business. Now, these are the founders of the business. We have, I think his name is Hyder, and then the other one is Daniel, right? There's two founders, two CEOs inside of this business, and what they're selling is a master communication academy, and I'll explain their offer, etc., etc. So this is about now I'm going to explain to you the business. So about the business. So one, the offer. This is about them, right? They're off. This is what I observed to see inside of their business when I try to look at their offer. So their offer is teaching people how to become master communicators so they can become more confident and learn high valuable skills. That's what I saw based on the research that I did. And they are trying to get people into their paid community for about $39 per month, as you can see, right? Now, I want you to look at these members real quick. They have 49 members inside of this community. And I'm going to explain to you the contradiction. And one of the main things that I saw that I was like, whoa, they have a big issue going on, right? Also, me not agreeing with low ticket communities and my strategy called Lord of the Rings and how I would change it, right? So one of the first things their offer is they teach people how to become master communicators so they can become more confident and learn high value skill, right? Second, let me see how their ads are. It doesn't seem like they're running ads based off my knowledge and what I've seen. Doesn't seem like they're running ads. They might be, but not that I saw based on the research and the mechanisms that I put in place just to check, right? Next is their landing page. Now, they don't have a landing page link in their bio, but they do send you a landing page video. They do send you to their landing page if you comment on their video. Their landing page is clean, aesthetic, and collects emails and has a VSL. So some check marks are there for sure. That, you know, it looks very clean. You know, they're calling out, you know, their target audience, right? Boom. And they're collecting emails, which is good. And I'll explain why emails are very powerful later on. Okay, so now, next, sales. How are their sales likes, right? So they're trying to convert their leads by having conversations through DMs by leveraging ManyChat. Now, this is very important that you listen to this, right? Because even though I'm deconstructing a different business that's not yours, some of you might be doing this right now. And I'm going to explain to you how you can start leveraging different systems to go ahead and start making more money. So they're trying to convert their leads by having a conversation through their DMs by leveraging a AI bot called ManyChat. So this is them sending it to me. This is me responding. This is not them, actually. This is going to be a bot, right? I made sure of that because I re-commented again just to make sure it is a bot. It is not an appointment setter, nothing like that. So next is their content. This is where I want you to pay close attention because just watch. So next is their content. So when I looked into their profile, it seemed, and it's pretty good, they're averaging a good amount of views and engagement. And they're using multiple various viral frameworks for their content, right? And they're doing what works. So for example, one of their videos, communication analysis, you can see they've done it multiple times. And that's a very good strategy. If something's working once, do it again. And right, good editing, all that type of good stuff. And they're getting tons of views, a lot of views. But here's the contradiction. And this is why I put their views last. Both of them, and his friend he's getting more views than his friend, but his friend is still getting good views. And I think altogether, they even have some views, some videos that hit 800K, 900K, a million. They amassed over 2 million views easily on their page, over 2 million views, but they only have 49 members paying $40 a month after getting eyeballs in front of millions of people, right? Now, this is the contradiction. I'm going to explain now why. Right, so let's move down the chart. So this is the problem with their business, and we're gonna get to the content later, right? But you see the contradiction. You should have more people inside of your community if you're getting that amount of views, right? But remember, views doesn't equal money. Something else does, and I'll get into that. So the problem with the business, right? So their offer. There's three things there's three things that's an issue with their offer. So one is that their bio isn't optimized, and this is what I would do, right? Their bio isn't optimized. As you can see, he just has Dubai, co-founder, Master Communicators Academy, teaching you how to become articulate. This is what I would do to his bio to make it more crisp, clear, and make it seem that he actually knows what he's doing, and it shows his offer. So what I'll do is, I think the name is great, but I'll also put keywords related to his niche right there. Communication expert, right? Communications expert, communication strategist, communicator, whatever it is. I'll take out his location. I'll put one sentence explaining what you do. I teach people how to become articulate, right? And then for the second line where he has co-founders of Master Communicators Academy, I'll add social proof. So I helped over X amount of entrepreneurs do this, right? I'll put a slight social proof or 3+ years in communications experience. And then lastly, I'll put a strong CTA. You can see he only has teaching you how to become articulate, but I'll put a strong CTA to the landing page, to that link right there, right? Because he has a school thing. That's where he's trying to get people to go, right? So now I will follow this framework that I just said. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this framework, you could go ahead. This is the bio framework that I would use. And it's very important, the last line of the bio, you need to have a CTA directing people to either DM you or to click the link below if they want to do this in X amount of days, right? Click the link below if you want to start articulating your thoughts in 60 days or less, whatever it is. It's important because now people are more sophisticated than ever, right? I'm going to tell you something called the 7-11-4 rule, and I'm going to show you how old people used to buy online courses and now how people are buying online stuff. Now, you need to understand first that people are more sophisticated than ever, right? Way more sophisticated than ever. So this is how old people used to buy when they used to buy in 2016, 2017, 2018. They used to watch an ad. They go to the landing page, watch the VSL, and book a call. It was that easy. That was it. You just run an ad, go to the landing page, watch the VSL, VSL closes them, and they go ahead and book a call. Now, this is the new way people buy now, right? It's not go to the landing page anymore. They watch an ad, and then they do research on you, right? They have to make sure that you know what you're talking about and that you're the right fit, right? And then they go to their landing page and watch the VSL and then book a call. So they do research. They have this extra step. And what the research consists of is they go and watch testimonials, right? They go and watch to see if there's testimonials on your page. They go and watch your content to see if you know what you're talking about. And within the content, you also have to hit their pain points and their wounds very precisely, so then they can feel like they really need you. So they're going to do a lot of research on you. Through YouTube, online, that's why you need to have YouTube content. They're going to do a lot of research. People are way more sophisticated nowadays. Then they go to the landing page and watch the VSL, which ultimately closes them, right? And then they book a call. So the research is like the first close. Landing page is the second close that this is the people don't talk about, right? Landing page. So there's 2 closes that has to be done before the sale. The research, there's actually 2 more, just actually 4 closes, but that's a strategy for another day. So boom, this is why it's important for them to go ahead and have an optimized CTA inside of their bio. Very, 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 very important, right? So now let's go to the second one, right? Now their target audience is unclear and confusing. So their target audience in their offer is confusing and not clear, right? Their content shows and sounds like they are targeting younger people into their program between the ages 18 and 25, which I'll get into in the next section. But this messaging is very contradicting to what I found on their landing page, right? And it's important to get the messaging correct if you're trying to target one customer, right? You need to speak to their emotions, vulnerabilities, pain points, and hit their wounds where it hurts in a good way, right? So inside of their landing page, I looked at it, and it seems that they're calling out entrepreneurs, content creators, salespeople, and corporate men. So I'll say, okay, you're targeting just basically entrepreneurs, just all around. And you could say salespeople and entrepreneurs are a little bit different as well, which I'll get into a little bit later. But yes, having contradicting messages will kill a lot of your leads and confuse your audience, right? Causing you to waste time on highly unqualified leads or getting no leads at all because you're simply confusing everyone. You have to be clear on your audience. And I'll get way deeper into this because it's a little difficult more than it seems, right? So third, another thing that they're doing wrong with their offer is that they're publishing and doing a low ticket community. I do not agree with low ticket communities at all, right? So they're trying to generate income for $4 per month. Now, I really don't agree with that, but I don't despise, right? I don't hate them, right? I don't like them, but I don't despise them. I just feel like if you're starting out a low ticket community, it doesn't make sense. I follow a different process about low ticket communities that make a lot more sense in my eyes, and it's called Lord of the Rings. Now, as you can see, they have 49 members, $39 per month, right? Members a little bit contradicting because they get a lot of views, right? So I follow a process called Lord of the Rings when it comes to publishing a low ticket community. Now, a lot of people think about, do I start a low ticket community? Do I start? Now, it's not about do I start a low ticket community. It's about when do I start a low ticket community. A lot of people start too early. Now, this is called Lord of the Rings, and this is where you sell levels of access to you. And this is how I value low ticket communities and how I strategically would start a low ticket community inside of a business, but not so early. So ring 1, there's 3 rings, right? So ring 1, you start off with high ticket coaching, right? And this intro will be very short explanation. I'll explain this in a later video more in depth, but essentially this is a model, like I said, where you sell levels of access to yourself. So you should start your business with one-on-one coaching. And you should take in between 5 to 10 clients in this one-on-one coaching until you hit around 0 to 15K per month. So forget the low ticket community. Start a one-on-one coaching, high ticket specifically, high ticket. So between $2,000 to $10,000. Sell this to people for 2 to 10K, high ticket, right? Forget the low ticket, but don't start off, and I'm gonna explain why. One-on-one coaching between 5 to 10 clients. So this is how you start off. So between 0 to 15K, 5 to 10 clients, one-on-one coaching. This is good because, one, it validates your offer before you start a low ticket community, because you don't know if your offer is even working, right? Because how are you going to track 50 people coming inside your business and know that they're actually gaining results, etc.? It's hard to track the results from everyone that's coming in, right? Rather than you working closely one-on-one. So it validates the offer, right? You gain experience teaching other people, right? So a lot of people like to start low ticket communities, but they don't realize there's a disconnect between group coaching and trying to coach hundreds of people inside a community. And there's a difference between coaching one-on-one, right? You need to first start. What makes you think that you're going to be able to teach the masses if you can't even teach one-on-one with someone, right? Also, by having a higher ticket community, right? A higher ticket course, right? And working closely one-on-one with people, you also find out what works best out of your video modules. Remember, school, bunch of video modules, etc. Maybe too much, that overwhelms a lot of people. But what about you can shorten all those video modules if you actually tested them closely between 5 to 10 clients, and now you can post on your school which ones works best. A lot easier for you, rather than testing out with the masses and hard to get feedback from people inside of the community, right? Very, very tricky. Plus, transitioning to high ticket, you get paid more. And it's good to get paid more, and I'll explain later. Then the second ring, after you do one-on-one coaching, 5 to 10 clients, after you get 5 to 10 clients, no, you don't start a low-ticket community again. No. Ring 2, you do group coaching between 15 to 30 members. Still high ticket. But now, between 22K and 100K per month, yes, you're doing group coaching, but you're learning how to group coach. Now you're getting a bit of an experience on learning how to build a community and getting experience on group coaching structure. You find out what works in the group. You find out what makes a good group call. You find out how to run a community now that you have a lot of people. And it's better to do this experience with people that paid higher ticket, because they're getting good value from you anyways, because you already have systems and processes in place that gets them there. You have less pressure on you, because now you're testing out your methods with a couple of people instead of everyone, right? You're testing your method within a couple people, 5 to 10 people, 10 to 15 people, very, very, very closely, rather than the masses. A lot more pressure on you. So between 20K to 100K per month, you shouldn't launch a community yet. Focus on group coaching, focusing on getting more testimonials, more results, building up your name inside of your industry, right? And learn and gain more experience on group coaching. Like, again, how are you going to know how to teach the masses if you can't teach individually, or at least 10 to 15 people, right? Now we're at ring 3, right? So now this is where you start publishing a school community, in my opinion. Now, this is when you're making between 250K plus per month. And I'll explain why you start a community at this end, right? And why it's so magical and very strategic, right? So at this point, you have experience on community and group structures, right? You already coached personally a bunch of people and did a bunch of group coaching, right? You have more followers and have built more trust and raised your authority inside of your space. And now you have a selection on to the best modules to publish that can guarantee results in your community, which is good. Now you know what works and what doesn't when it comes to video modules. So you know to post the best inside of your school that will guarantee the masses a good amount of value, right? Now you have also a ton of testimonials, which means that you're making a name for yourself in this space, and lots of people know you. I'm gonna get back to that. Lots of people know you, which they should, because you're spending tons of money at ads to get in front of people's faces. And at this point, you have a bigger budget, right? And at this point, like I said, more followers, more authority. Also, you have a raving audience that's been waiting for a taste of some type of access to you, right? Also, you have more money, so you can leverage good hires for your communities. Things like community managers, right? Setters in place, for example, and client success managers that you can have running that whole separate functionality of getting more clients in, right? Because if you would have started a low ticket community before, when you're making 20 to 100K or even 10 to 15K, it takes your focus. You don't have enough money to get hires. You're going to have to be running that all yourself. Why not do it when you're making 250K plus per month and you're able to hire people to manage that for you, right? And you're also you already gain experience teaching others. Also, you can leverage the community as a funnel into your higher ticket. And that's very, very crucial and important, right? So personally for me, I would rather start a low ticket community later on. And at this point, remember, this is very important. Listen to what I'm saying right now. Even when you start a school community at $250K plus per month, you don't do group coaching calls inside of the community. You don't, unless it's a client success manager doing it, because you do not want to sell access to you, and it will lower the value of your higher ticket if people are getting access to you inside of the community for only $100 per month or $50 per month, whatever it is. The point of that community is to leverage your community as a funnel into your higher ticket, but you don't show your face. You have community managers in there and client success managers to do some group coaching calls, but you do not show your face at all. Barely, ever, because it will weaken your higher ticket, right? It will weaken it. Right? But at this point, you can do that, right? Because you're macho man, you're up top, right? You're a recognizable face inside of the industry. You could do that. And people are still going to like you. And people are still going to want more, right? So in my opinion, that's what I would do. Now, there is a strategy around this mark right here where you can still drop something that's low ticket, but it will be a low ticket workshop, right? And I'll explain low ticket workshops in another video. But low ticket workshops are insane low ticket gateway into another source of income and also leveraging it as a funnel into your higher community. But it doesn't take your eyesight away so much. It's not completely complex like a school community, and you're able to do it very, very easily. So we'll talk about that later. So this is it for the Lord of the Rings, right? And now we're going to move on to number 2, which is the content, right? So this is their content, right? So this is the problem, one of the problems with their content. Their target audience is way too broad and confusing, extremely broad, and I'm going to explain. This is one of the videos that they had, right? And first I was like, okay, looking through their content, and I was like, I think they're targeting younger people, 18 to 25. They're in that make money online niche with this skill, et cetera, et cetera. And take a look why I think that, right? Let's look at their video.
As a young man, learning human nature, okay? It's not as generic as discipline.
You heard what he said there in the beginning? If you're as a young man, you're calling out your audience right then and there. You're calling them out, right? So I was like, okay, maybe he's targeting younger people. Also got that motivational vibe to it, right? I said, okay. But then I looked at another post, and I'm like, is he targeting introverts? Let me show you why I said that.
I know it can be daunting, but every single one of you can master communication. If you want the best out of life, I'm talking women, business.
I don't know if you heard what he said in the beginning, but he said, if you are an introvert, you gotta understand that these little tips of messaging can really impact your business. Just saying little words like this because you're confusing your audience, and I'll explain, right? You have to be specific and only target one customer, right? You need to only target one customer and get very specific into their needs, goals, and desire, right? So you don't want to do this. You don't want to have a bunch of content that's speaking to a bunch of different people, right? People are going to get confused, overwhelmed, and think that this is not for them. You could be speaking the most valuable thing ever, but inside of your content, you still got to hit that one target customer's wounds, vulnerabilities, insecurities, and weaknesses throughout the whole thing. Where you're trying to hit everybody's weakness and vulnerability, that one person that you want is going to go in and he's not going to get hit repeatedly from what you're saying. He's going to go through one post and it's like, okay, for example, let's say I'm an introvert and I'm looking through his page, right? The first video is talking about introvertness, like, oh, if you're an introvert, and he's relating to introvertness, and he talks about how he used to be an introvert, and, he hits vulnerabilities and pain points. I feel the type of way. Then I go to the next one. Okay, communication analysis. He's giving me some tips of communication. Then I go to the next one, and he's talking about young people and motivating young people. Then I go to the next one, and he's talking about salespeople, about how salespeople need to. I'm not a salesperson, right? I'm not trying to make money online with this. I'm just trying to get more confident, right? And I go and it just hitting it. You're supposed to hit your target customer every single video, and that's why you definitely need to find one target customer and keep it that way, right? So instead, you want to do this. Like I said, all the videos need to speak to one person. It needs to hit the vulnerabilities and insecurities and wounds very perfectly. So every time they're doom scrolling on your page, they're getting hit with value and emotion, right? Every single time. If it looks like this, they're going to get confused, brother. They're going to get confused, and you don't want them to get confused. They're going to think that this is not for them. Also, when it comes to the targeting, let me go ahead and explain why having multiple different members as well can mess up your fulfillment, right? So let's get deep into this, right? So Let's say you have a salesperson and an introvert going into the academy, right? You want to make sure that everyone receives value at the same time, right? So if people are coming in that are salespeople, going up against, not really going up against, but are with introverts, who you think is gonna get the value the fastest, and who's gonna take longer? The salesperson is gonna get the value a lot quicker because they're already been communicating, they already learned a little bit from whatever company they're at. Now they're just trying to refine certain things. Their introvert doesn't know shit about communication, and it's bad when you have a weird influx of people getting value very, very quickly and people that are not. It's gonna demotivate these people. And you're going to start receiving a bunch of feedback that these people want and that these people want. And now you're going to have to create two different processes and methods for these two different people, which is a lot more work on you. That's why you just want one customer. And you just want to create one thing one time and give it to the masses. That's why you need to get very specific, right? You want to create a roadmap that helps everyone, but just once. You don't want to create 30, 50 different roadmaps. That's not good. So that's another tip and why it's so important to go ahead and only have one ideal customer, right? Also, and this is why they're not getting any type of money, right? You know, $40 a month for $49, that's not a lot of money based on all the views that you're getting and all the work that you're putting in. And this is why I preach that more views doesn't equal more money. Targeting equals more money. Okay, now let me explain what I would do inside of this business to go ahead and make it thriving, right? So this is the solution. I will only pick one target customer, and that one target customer is going to be coaches, consultants, agency owners that are making $20 to $40K per month. Why did I choose this audience? This target audience has a budget, right? So meaning that they're able to go ahead and pay for this type of stuff. These people have the money for it, specifically since I'm calling out people that are making 20 to 40K. So you're able to charge high. Also, communication over editing. Most entrepreneurs believe that they don't got much of a cult-like following because their content is trash or the editing is not good, etc., etc. So a bunch of excuses about content. But in reality, you can have the shittiest pieces of content, but it's how you're communicating certain things and how are you able to manipulate people with your words in a very precise way that's going to get them to get attracted to you. It's not about the editing. Also, better communication boost sales and client relationships. So most entrepreneurs, right, they take sales calls, right? They're pitching, communicating, right? All that type of stuff. And also it makes client relationships a lot easier. I'm able to communicate with this person very easily. I'm able to have more hard conversations because I know how to articulate myself, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also, it's a very unique offer. You know, entrepreneurs are usually at this level in business are only focused on building their personal brand, scouting talent, and slightly refining their systems and processes. So this audience is way better than entrepreneurs that are 5K to 10K or 0 to 10K, because at this point, people that are making that type of income, 0 to 15K, they're usually more focused on learning a lot more things, getting their systems and processes in place, right? All this extra flow of things. They're not really worried about too much of their personal brand. Yes, they're building it, but they're trying to get testimonials, fulfillment, all that type of stuff. So when you get an entrepreneur or coach or consultant that's in the flow around 20 to 40K, they already got some systems in place. They just need to refine it. But they're mainly focused on the personal brand, mainly kind of focused on getting their name out there and building that authority. And the best way to build that authority is by communication. So communication offers sound sexy and appealing to these guys because true entrepreneurs know that communication is key to building a personal brand, because you are talking every single time in your content. This is how they can become relatable and gain authority and perfectly get high qualified prospects inside their business. It just sounds amazing. Now, you know, I know you guys watching right here are consultants, agency owners, and coaches. Doesn't that sound freaking amazing? Also, I'm literally giving these guys free promo, literally. Once they start, if they do watch this video and convert to high ticket, next video, I'll post your link down below. But also, entrepreneurs need podcasts as leverage, right? So this is a very good one. So entrepreneurs need to go on a podcast, point blank period. I don't care who you are, point blank period. Being on a podcast is one of the highest forms of leverage, aside from posting YouTube videos. It takes people 7 hours to go ahead and trust you and buy from you. So having podcasts that are 1 to 2 hours long, and you're basically talking about everything from your story to value to your future, and you're also talking about your values, personal values, ethics, morals, and future and certain topics, world topics, whatever it is, it gets people to know who you are a little bit deeper, and that's good. The relatability is one of the most important things to get someone to buy from you. Everyone's selling the same shit, but what's going to separate you from that other guy is your relatability. You want people to fall in love with your story, not people fall in love with the results that you're going to give them. The results is good. I think it's 30% of it, but 70% of it is the relatability, how you're able to communicate your words, how you're able to get these people on a call and make them excited before they even hop on that you are the right fit for them, right? Listen, people are insecure. No matter who you are, we all have insecurities, some worse than others. You mean to tell me that some entrepreneurs are not purposely avoiding going on podcasts, even though they need to go on there because they feel like they can't articulate their thoughts or going to look stupid on camera? Bullshit. There's a bunch of entrepreneurs that are. So it's a very, very, very good place to go ahead and start going and targeting. And so in their messaging, if they tell entrepreneurs the importance of how a podcast can help them and that being insecure about communication is stopping them from getting on one, this can be stopping massive growth in their personal brand, literally, right? Also, not every entrepreneur is confident. So them having messaging that states how they're also able to gain confidence and using that as a plus point, right, into going ahead and joining their business is completely key. A lot of these entrepreneurs have these pain points, but they don't know, right? So now since they don't know how to target it, they need to show these entrepreneurs why they need this, right? Why they need it. It's a very appealing offer. Also, going ahead and having a communication offer and trying to target kids that are 18 to 25 years old, right? Younger people, it's just not sexy. You know, you're telling me I need to learn communication to make money. How, right? I don't care for that. People just want results. They want money, right? That's what they like to drop ship in the e-com. So I don't even think that's a really good audience to go forward. It's just not sexy, but it's for sure sexy to entrepreneurs, right? Also, yes, so here are a few pain points, right? Limited communication skills, affect sales and client relationships, poor communication, weakened personal brand. This is why they need it. These are the pain points of the entrepreneurs. Podcast avoidance due to insecurity, limits visibility, lack of confidence. There's so many pain points that they can hit for agency coaches and consultants. And I'll price this anywhere between 5 to 10K. They'll have the money. And now, the crazy thing that this offer, they already validated it. They already validated their audience. I looked into their SKOOL community, and their only 2 testimonials that they have, right, was from an agency owner and a coach. Their only 2 testimonials are from an agency owner and a coach. So it's proven and validated that audience wants this, right? Wants this, and they could have easily charged these guys 5K, but I'm pretty sure they only went to the community. Right? Like I said, I don't really know deeper into the business. They could be using a higher ticket funnel to go ahead and they could be using a funnel to leverage that and into their higher ticket. But regardless, I know they're not making that much money simply because the audience is so random, if that makes sense. But it was validated, right? So that's it for that section. That was a lot, right? Now let's go into the next one, right? Also, right? They need to provide more value in their content. So I really like the communication analysis. It goes deep into it. They basically review some of the best communicators going ahead and talking, and they talk about certain gestures that they do, et cetera, et cetera. But they don't really get technical when it comes to communication stuff. I looked through a lot of their page. They don't really get very technical with it. You know, they don't really give the best stuff away. You have to give actionable tips in your content that's going to be able to give your audience some results outside of them joining any of your paid stuff that's going to make them trust you a lot more. So if you were to give free value away and an audience member is able to see results from that value, they're going to trust you a lot more. They're going to be like, oh yeah, this guy helped me and it was just free content. I want to listen to more of his stuff, right? More of his stuff. And then obviously they're going to get trust from you and they're going to eventually pay for your higher ticket, right? 110%, right? So you have to give your best stuff away. Yes, you should ask. Give your best stuff away and ask, right? Do that CTA. That was really good, right? So they need to provide a little bit more value. Right, so now let's get next to their landing page. Now their landing page was pretty good, but these are a couple things that I would change. So like now, since we know the target customer, calling all entrepreneurs, content creators, et cetera, is too broad. I would change that, and I will put calling all coaches, consultants, agency owners are making 20 to 40K profits per month. Instead of having, claim your free communication crash course and learn how to gain influence, I will put this. This is what I'll put in that headline. Master the art of communication and influence to elevate your personal brand in just 60 days by using tactics tactful communication without needing fancy editing, unique branding, or flashy colors, right? Because people think that, oh, this is just a personal brand content agency. No, it's not at all. You don't need the fancy edits. No, it's all about your communication, etc. So does that make sense? So that's pretty good. Next, what I'll do is I'll add some testimonials and reviews. This is what happens when I scroll down. I add the 2 testimonials that they showed me. I'll add on there. People need testimonials once they hop on a landing page. That's going to make them feel a lot more reassured, better about the situation, and better about the decision that they're making. So I add some testimonials. I watched your VSL. It's good that they have a VSL. I watched your VSL. They don't really have a clear CTA. They just have something at the bottom, like a timer saying, like, wait till this timer goes down so you can proceed with the next steps. Not a very clear CTA at the end of it. It's pretty good editing, very good editing for sure. Very good communication within it. They framed the whole VSL sort of like free value. Like, if you go ahead and try to funnel hack them yourselves, you see what they did. They gave free value, basically. They was teaching you like a couple steps on how you can become a better communicator, which is okay, but I'd rather dig deeper into the audience wounds and why it's so important that they need this, and also related to your personal experience, if that makes sense. And then add guarantees and bonuses. They didn't have that. So that goes into the structure of the VSL. They didn't really have much structure within it. So I'll implement my laser persuasion framework template and make sure that they get more structure for sure in their VSL. And they're definitely going to need that if they're talking to business owners. When it comes to sales, the way they try to get sales inside their higher ticket, they tell people to comment a word. Then after they comment the word, you have a ManyChat automation. I would discover a bit more and ask qualifying questions inside of the ManyChat automations. I know that's hard to do, especially because you're doing everything yourself. That's why AI chatbots are coming out now with people that are professionals in AI, because in order to get AI to be very realistic, you kind of got to be all about AI and know about AI. So it's very hard that they could replicate something like that. But yeah, I'll discover more a little bit about your situation, kind of show them that they need this program. And yeah, their follow-up was a little bit weak, so I'll change the follow-up as well. But obviously, this would change if they convert to higher ticket. It will be a whole different process, right? They will be having to text. They will have to be the ones qualifying, or a setter in there as well. You can't get a setter for lower ticket at all because they're not getting paid anything, right? You're supposed to pay your setters. You can't pay your setters if you're only charging $4 per month, right? You also don't really have a good track record of people that came in to pay your setter. Also, they are doing VSO and collecting emails, which is good because you want to collect people's emails, right? So you can also try to close them with follow-up emails, et cetera, people that didn't take action. But sadly, they are not sending emails within the first few days or at all. I haven't got an email for them at all. I think I've reviewed their business about 5 days ago. Haven't got an email for them at all. I could be wrong, but I didn't. I checked a little earlier. So I'm guessing that they have no flows in place. But yeah, it's very good for you to go ahead and get a lot of extra sales that are on the table. And the best way to get leads that fall through your leaky bucket is through emails. You want to target them, emails, and segmentation, which is a whole different topic. But emails are very, very, very key. Also, ads. They're not running any ads at all that I've seen. And I think that it's good for them to run ads because it's a predictable way for customers. It's a predictable way for customers to always get in front of your audience. Organic is just unpredictable. You can't just rely on organic at all, especially with higher ticket. I think it's a good way to validate your offer too, to see if this is the audience that I really like by going ahead and just getting in front of that audience and calling them out. See if there's even an audience for that. And the best way you could do that with ads, but they obviously have to know how to run ads, right? So I don't work with these guys, right? This is just free value that I saw. It was way too good not to post about it, right? Like, there was a lot of things that they have to do inside their business, and I know this is going to help them. Great feedback. I hope they decide to work with me after seeing this too, because I'll be willing to go ahead and help them. That will also make great content for their channel and my channel too, because I know you guys want to definitely see how I can transform their business and see this in action. This is a lot of value, and a lot of people are not stating these things. A lot of gurus are not saying these things. A lot of other mentorships are not stating these things. And I came to realization with that when one of my clients, Jesse, who's a fitness and bodybuilder coach, said that, he paid over 15K plus in mentorships that actually made him go bankrupt, right? And he didn't learn none of this stuff, right? He didn't learn any of this stuff, right? He said that this is something that he had never experienced before, because inside of my business, I make sure that business owners actually understand business and they're not relying on me Like, yeah, I'm going to implement this stuff inside your business, but I also want you to learn, right? I also want you to learn, because after our contract is over, right, and you don't decide to stay, I want you to understand and have these skills so you know how to do certain things, right? But yeah, he also said my price point is definitely not enough, right? Because I don't charge as much as these other people do. But yeah, if you guys need help with any of the things that I talked about, DM me the word help on IG. I'll have my IG link below. I hope these guys end up working with me, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. Peace.